Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. This is episode 25 of Tru Rewind. We are back once again in our DeLorean. Pump up the flux capacitor. We are going back in time to Starrcade 1995 from Nashville, Tennessee. I am in the DeLorean once again with the connoisseur of all reporting, Mr. Romeo Anthony Cologne.
What is up, gentlemen? I'm all New Japan down, as you can see here.
He's ready. He's ready to go. And our backseat driver, as usual, he is in the back with a new vape pen, acting a damn fool, having to mute himself because he's choking to death. It is the one, the only, the supreme Ivan Ooze, Drunk Guy JJ.
Clearly, I've been having too much fun back in town. I can't even talk. All right. It's good to be back here with my good brothers. And another good brother.
Back in time. And yes, we are joined by a very, very special guest for our pay-per-views on our ride through the Monday Night Wars. We love to have our special guests. And this one was suggested by you guys in the comment section. Our good brother, the king of the comment section, Kayfabe Tactus, suggested that for WCW Starrcade 1995 with the World Cup with WCW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling, that we have a New Japan aficionado, a expert when it comes to the past, the present, and the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the one, the only, the host of J News Japan. It is the good brother, J News. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Oh man, thank you for the warm welcome. This was definitely a bumpy ride to the past here of Starrcade 95. It was interesting to say the least, because I haven't watched this shit since 95. So it's it was yeah, we'll talk about it.
December 27th, 1995, Nashville, Tennessee, Starrcade 1995. So before we get into anything, this is a reminder to you guys at home, push the like button, share this video with all your wrestling fans and friends. We love this trip down the lane of Monday Night Wars, and nostalgia is a very big thing in professional wrestling, so we love for you to share this with everyone you know that loves professional wrestling. Of course, the iCard down at the bottom, you can push that to subscribe, and the bell below that to stay notified for all the great content right here on True Heel Heat. I just do the intros. I'm in the front seat. I'm like the person with the map directing our driver, the one, the only, the connoisseur of reporting, Romeo Anthony Cologne, our quarterback. Take it away.
I saw the box art for this VHS tape, Starrcade 95, and it says 1996 on it. It's because that's just WCW. On commentary is Tony Schiavone, The Brain, and Dusty Rhodes.
The American dream.
If you will.
If you will. We're going to see some plunder tonight.
We'll have a lot to say about him on the show. The opening match was Chris Benoit in his prime, 28 years old, versus Jushin Thunder Liger in his prime, 31 years old. Of course, Benoit representing the Four Horsemen. We have yet to see all Four Horsemen at once. Bobby the Brain tries to make the point that tonight is about Japan versus America, even though Benoit is Canadian. Jushin Thunder Liger has a Saturday morning cartoon show in Japan.
Yes, that's where the theme song. Boom, 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 boom.
J News, we sing sometimes here on Tru Rewind. Chris Benoit misses a diving headbutt, cringe. Then he ends up hitting it. Taskmaster comes out, he's barking at Benoit on the outside. Liger wins with a sloppy Hurricane Rana in 10:28. Dirty finish. I gave this match 4 stars. Sid, do you want to talk about it?
I really enjoyed this match for the most part. I did cringe as well for Benoit missing the diving headbutt. Liger with the Liger bomb and Brain Buster was beautiful. Great near falls there. Benoit pulling out the 2 rolling German suplexes. One of the earliest versions that I remember him hitting that. But the match kind of was taken away by Taskmaster getting involved here, but it did tease what would become a very crucial rivalry in WCW between Kevin Sullivan and Chris Benoit. I gave this match 3 3/4 stars.
I did not put that 2 and 2 together until you just mentioned it.
Not only in the rivalry of WCW, a crucial rivalry in their lives.
True.
I love this match. It's definitely a great opener. Benoit's team is a Bobski. As of course, even though we're 22 years early in the DeLorean, but yes, that headbutt was very cringe for obvious reasons, but a great way to start off. Good shit by WCW. I give this match 4 stars as well.
Just because I've been inundated in New Japan for the last, 5 weeks, whatever amount of weeks it's been, and stuff like that. I appreciated the pace of this match because I remember early 90s or mid 90s matches being super slow. So I appreciated the good quick pace of this match. 2 Hall of Famers, Benoit, Liger, both dudes in their primes and stuff like that. I hadn't seen Kevin Sullivan on my TV screen since 99. 99. It was that definitely was a flashback in time to see him in that yellow robe or whatever the case is, and those damn little horns he had. And yeah, the finish was wonky, but it was classic WCW stuff.
Yeah,
I appreciated the match for what it was, especially Chris Benoit coming off of the Best of Super Juniors win that year. So have to mention that and throw that in for folks who didn't know. And
why doesn't WCW mention this?
Actually, I think they did, but it was later on in the show.
Yeah, they said later on in the show they did say that Benoit was involved in the tournament for the Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. And
they didn't want to give them any clout.
They didn't call it the Best of the Super Juniors though.
Yeah, they did. To grade the match or score it or to give it some stars, 4 stars.
Dave Meltzer also gave this match 4 stars. Mean Gene Okerlund is with Eddie Guerrero. Eddie shames the Taskmaster for getting involved in that last match. Somebody accidentally opens the door in the back and then closes it.
That was a nice little spot there. Mexican Randy Marsh seemed nervous here.
Oh.
Yeah, it felt so out of place and knowing to what Eddie would become with promos. It was like, this is so like cringe. So white meat baby face ass promo he's over here cutting.
Still not comfortable on the mic yet.
Yeah.
And the next match, it's Koji Kanamoto. I hope I said that right.
Kanamoto.
Well done.
The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion with Sonny Ono. Sonny Ono's with everybody. Just get that out the way.
One of the Iron Mans of tonight's pay-per-view.
We learned he's also a judo champion and apparently has a big temper. And he's fighting Alex Wright. Das Wonder Kid. How do you say that?
Das Wonder Kid.
There you go. There's a lady in the audience really loves him. Loves her some Alex Wright. A brain again makes this about USA versus Japan. This guy's from Germany.
The Japanese.
Koji wins with a roll-up in 11:43. I gave this 2.5 stars.
I gave it 3. I actually thought this match was going to kind of suck because I wasn't really invested, but it was a pretty good, pretty okay match.
I'll go with 3 stars here because I didn't even remember what Alex Wright's style was like, to be honest. It's been that long since watching him on TV, and I thought that he did pretty good in a match against the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion at that time. I didn't have much interest in this match either, but I thought that Alex Wright did better than what I expected.
Yeah, they had a pretty decent match here. I gave it 2 3/4 stars. Koji and here.
Meltz really liked this. He gave us 3.75 stars.
Wow. And WCW are down 0-2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right.
Speaking of which, Sonny Ono's with Gene Okerlund. He says they're going for the sweep. That should age well. And then
he didn't know it was a best of 7 because he said they're gonna win 5
They won
straight,
5 straight, yeah.
and Gene was like, oh well, you only need 4, and then Gene was kind of racist here as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean there was a complete undertone of that throughout the entire
I'm about to say
pay-per-view.
that was the theme of the night: racism towards Japanese. Jesus, the Japanese. Every time they reference them, the whole show, the Japanese.
Even the fans, you would think like sometimes when you see a good performer, you'll start cheering them. It didn't matter what any of these New Japan talents did; they got booed out the building.
Word, definitely.
Fans holding the Japanese flag and giving a good old thumbs down. Masahiro Chono, the master of the STF. He's facing Lex Luger to a huge pop Luger gets.
Don't know why, but
because WCW needs him. Dusty Rhodes goes nuts in this match when Tony Schiavone calls one of Chono's moves a mafia kick.
Mm-hmm.
He says that move has nothing to do with the mafia. And then Dusty starts adding ethnic names to random moves, like a Sicilian elbow.
Man, I just remember earlier the night that Brain was like, Tony understood what Dusty said, and Brain was just like, you understood that? And Tony was like, yeah. He was like, well, that makes one of us.
Chono with a dive off the top rope into an elbow by Lex. Lex wins with the torture rack and 640. The crowd loves it. I don't so much. I gave this 1.25 stars.
I'll come out and say this clearly. I don't hate anyone. Hate is a strong word, but I have a strong disdain for Lex Luger. I am not a fan. I will not rate this match because he is not worth my time.
Well done. Well
Damn.
done. Give the NR, the N/R.
No rating.
That's not the first time we've had a guest come on and hate Lex Luger. Well, not hate, but strongly dislike.
Seems to be a theme with our guests.
Sid?
I gave this 1 3/4 stars purely for Masahiro Chono. I was going to go 2 stars, and then he had the little spot at the end where he forgot that he wasn't supposed to go to the top rope just yet, and then he decided to go to the top rope later, and that cost him the victory. And I will say this is probably where WCW was like, you know what, this Lex Luger would make a pretty good babyface because he was over like Rover with this crowd.
I'll give this match 1 3/4. It was what it was. Luger sucks. There's really no other way to put it.
Meltz gave this 1.2 stars. Mean Gene is with Sting. He reminds us of Sting losing the U.S. title in Japan. They talk more about the triangle match. I'm done talking about this soap opera with Lex Luger. We've had an interview every week, it seems, about this crap.
But once again, Gene offending Sting, pissing him off with his question, immediately asking about him losing the U.S. title in Japan. Like, it seems like the next great rivalry of WCW is Mean Gene versus Sting.
Well, this was the precursor, right? Because we're walking into '96. This is before Sting starts to disappear and not show up, and before you know it, he no longer rocks the live colors, and the face paint goes black and white, and it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, this kind of seems like a whole year-long build-up to them, like, questioning Sting. Like, I thought it was just, like, in the lead-up to Fall Brawl with the introduction.
No. It was year-long.
We'll get into that when the whole big angle that kind of sparked WCW's popularity happens next year. But I thought it was just in that month-long lead-up to Fall Brawl 1996. But it's a whole year of them questioning him, and now it really makes sense of why he was so upset with a certain competitor who didn't trust him during that run. It makes a whole lot of sense now.
Diamond Doll's fine ass is now simply known as Kimberly. She does some cartwheels during Johnny B. Bad's entrance. Brain says she was a lady before, now she looks like a bimbo cheerleader.
The massaging.
He's on a roll.
Johnny B. Bad is fighting Maso Saito. Sonny, before the match, is pissed about a lady being here in a man's sport. Kimberly says, if this is just for men, then what are you doing here? Boom! Roasted.
Oh, man, but Kimberly called him Hopsing.
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
the blatant racism there, but whatever.
Wait, what's that? I don't know what that is.
I think
It's a character from I think it was like a 1960s or 1970s show or whatever the case is. It wasn't even a Japanese character; it was a Chinese character, to be quite honest. So,
that's what made it worse.
that's what made it worse. So yeah.
Saito in this match seemed old and slow. Well, he is old. He's 53 years old at the time. I thought they could have found a better matchup here for Johnny B. Bad, who's very athletic. Bad wins because he's thrown over the top rope in 549. Dirty finish. Fuck this finish. After the match, Bad beats up Saito. He misses his flip over the rope by a lot.
By a whole lot.
Bad celebrates with Kimberly's fine ass. I gave this a half a star.
I gave this 1 star. I wish they would have switched Chono with Saito. Give Saito to Luger. Let Luger lift his old ass up for the match, and let Chono actually have a good match with Johnny B. Bad. That probably would have made better for this whole entire show. But at least we got the Saito suplex. That was the only bright spot of this match. So that's why it gets 1 star.
That's what it is. Oh, it all makes sense now.
1 star. Trash.
Yeah, it does get the 1 star treatment from me as well, even though Mr. Saito was beyond his prime at this point in time. If you were listening to the commentary, Bobby the Brain Heenan used to manage Mr. Saito in the 70s at this point.
Jesus Christ.
So that's how bad that was. Like Sid said, we got to see the Saito Plex. That's what it was all about.
Meltz gave us a half a star. And then Mean James with Lex Luger, Jimmy Hart. Lex does not want Jimmy at ringside for his triangle match. He says it's personal. He's got to take care of its own. Got his best friend Sting. Jimmy Hart says it's okay because he's here for a long time, not a good time.
Yeah.
That time traveler, Jimmy Hart.
Shinjiro, Utani versus Eddie Guerrero. During this match, Dusty gets annoyed by the term German suplex.
Oh my God.
Dusty, just say you're racist and leave it.
I've had some problem. I've had some problem with you losing the German suplex with my indemnity, and it's obvious. It's like he had a whole dictionary next to him. He was just using. He was like indubitably.
This match was fucking awesome. Eddie and Utani have great chemistry. Utani wins with a battle of roll-ups at the end in 13:43. I really like this. I gave it 4.25 stars.
I loved this fucking match. This match, like I told the guys before we went on camera, I watched New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2020, G1 Climax 30, Night 13, one of the best shows of not only the tournament of the year 2020, and this match would have not looked out of place on that show. Because this match was at the pace that we are used to from New Japan nowadays. You had 2 great all-time performers in Utani. Utani is a guy I hadn't seen much of. I know he's a legend when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling and Japanese Pro Wrestling in general. But I am such a big fan of Eddie Guerrero. You guys know that from watching Tru Rewind with the dozens of times we've gave him match of the night. And once again, he steals the show on this event. I gave this match 4 stars. This was great.
4.25, man. That was a great fucking match. I mean, he had a shitty promo in the beginning of the show, but man, heavily made up for that match. Like Sid said, it can definitely hold up now, even now. Eddie just was one of them all-time greats. Utani, it was a great match.
Yeah, great match indeed. I always date myself because I go back a ways with certain stuff. Obviously, we haven't seen Eddie Guerrero in a ring live in a long period of time since his passing, and I haven't seen one of his matches since I got God knows when. And it reminded me just how good he was in the ring. since he started in the business. They kept on calling him a young guy.
No,
Right?
right,
It was 1995. They kept on calling him a young guy, and he started his career in '87. I'm like, he's already 8 years into the business. Like, what are you talking about? Well, whatever the case, dope match. Utani, like Sid said, he's a legend in Japan. And the chemistry they had was really, really good. It didn't seem like anything was out of place. Everything was flowing fluidly, and classic Eddie Guerrero trademark moves during the match made me pop every time, and whatnot. And it was highly enjoyable. Best match of the night for me, hands down.
Absolutely. Like, just to name some of the stuff we saw: a top rope Frankensteiner by Eddie. We saw a splash mountain bomb by Eddie, which was great. Utani was just moving around the ring, like he was doing springboards. That one springboard drop kick where he almost took Eddie's head off from the back, and then he came up and he was busted open from the nose. That was just a great visual. And then that finishing sequence with them going back and forth with the pinning combinations. I can't praise this match enough. Like this match, even if we didn't get matches like Benoit and Liger on the night, this match alone would give this pay-per-view a positive grade.
In the 90s, he floated between. He was one of those guys who floated between the junior heavyweight division, and when he got to the heavyweight division, eventually, he became a mainstay, but he was never necessarily a champion. But at the end of the day, like, he had most Japanese wrestlers have long historic careers. He was in the business for like about 20 something years and whatnot. Highly revered and stuff like that, and a lot of tournament wins and whatnot. So he's pretty up there in the New Japan chain of command.
Out of all the New Japan guys on this card, he was by far my favorite. The one that impressed me most.
Yeah.
This next segment, I wrote down practically the whole thing.
I just had the name of this promo: To Infinity and Beyond.
Macho Man with Mean Gene Okerlund. Gene fucks up his math, saying if Macho Man loses, it's up to Sting to win the cup. No, that's it. And Macho Man is off the rails here. He's classic Macho Man. He is cocained up.
Doing that coke.
He cuts off Mean Gene immediately, not worrying about the damn triangle match. He's cool with being the underdog and his back against the door.
Not the wall, but the door.
He was impressed by Lex with the torture rack earlier. You know, it's a team type situation, and then it reverses itself into infinity and beyond. I like that.
Oh man.
I wish we had heel Steven on this episode.
Then he says quite the understatement. Tenzan, you can't understand what I'm saying, but I'm coming to get you. Yeah. Me and Gene just got off the phone with the suspended Hulk Hogan. What did he say? He wanted to know what frame of mind you're in, Randy. Tell him I'm in the zone. That's what makes Sting different. That's what makes Luger different. And the difference is that it's 3-2. And I'm going in there to even the score. Stinger! Be there! For the USA. Again, this is USA crappily. 2 of 5 have been American so far.
Oh, man.
I'm out of here. I can't say another word. Mean Gene thanks Macho Man as he walks away. But Macho comes back because he forgot to say, "Ooh, yeah!" This was epic.
One of the all-time great Macho Man promos right here.
Oh man, can I say something? I know I do my New Japan shit for the channel, but man, watching like classic Hogan shit, classic Macho Man stuff, classic Nature Boy stuff always makes me crack up and reminisce for good times. Good times. Ultimate Warrior shit was so deep and interwoven that you never understood what he was talking about. But
I think that's the next journey we gotta go on in like the early 90s, late 80s. Like once we're done with the Monday Night War, we need to go back so we can relive those Warrior and classic Macho Man promos.
We have to go back further.
Man, but it was so cool to see the Macho Man with his expressive hands and the pinky out all in this. Oh man, it felt good. It felt good to the heart just to see it.
Macho Man is fighting Tenzan.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy does the Macho Man formulaic match, get beat up, and win it with an elbow drop in 6:53. Not much time here. I gave this 1 star. I
will give this the 1-star treatment as well. I had my issues with anticlimactic matches in night 12 of the G130. This felt right in line with that because, like you said, I forgot how Macho Man matches went. 6 minutes of him getting beat up, and then all of a sudden he drops Tenzan for a second. He gets to the top rope, and he drops the elbow, and he wins. He wins. What?
The elbow's like kryptonite.
Yeah.
And Tenzan, one of the few New Japan names that I recognize.
Tenzan had already been in New Japan at this point for 2 years, and he's still going now. So, it gives you an idea of how long these Japanese careers go. And yeah, Tenzan didn't look any more impressive then than he did now. So it's what it is.
Yeah, we're in between when he was actually really good. Yeah, this felt like a showcase for Tenzan until like 5 minutes and 45 seconds in, where Macho just said, "You know what? Hogan's not on this card. Hogan's not on this card, so I'm gonna be the Hulk Hogan here, and I'm just gonna take you out with 2 or 3 moves." I gave this match 1.5 stars.
1 star. Caca. Gosh. Macho honestly really hasn't even been having that many good matches, which kind of sucks to see. But
nope.
Yeah.
Meltz gave us 3/4 of a star.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mean James with Ric Flair. Ric Flair, once again, another guy saying Japan versus the USA. a first in WCW. He says later on he's going to have Dolly Parton on his left and some other lady on his right. And he will win the World Championship.
But did you see Mean Gene mark out, though, when he said Dolly Parton? He's like,
oh. He was like, oh, okay. He's like, I'm here for that.
It's time for match 7. Tied at 3 apiece. It's Sting versus the U.S. champ, Kensuke Sasaki. The World Cup is at ringside. Sting brings out Old Glory, the American flag. This is for Team America.
America. Fuck yeah.
Brain says he brought it to get these hillbillies off their feet. Immediately triggers Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, God.
He's like, you talking about me?
Calls him an ignoramus. I haven't heard that word since Chris Jericho used it.
I heard it.
Anyway, the match. Sting wins with the Scorpion Deathlock, even after Sasaki put the Scorpion Deathlock on him. Short again, 6:52. The crowd loves it. This match could have been better, but they're keeping these matches short to preserve these guys' energy for having multiple matches in the night. I gave this match 2 stars.
Slightly disappointed because I heard good things about their matchup in New Japan, where Sasaki won the U.S. title. So I expected a little bit more, but like you said, I do understand them trying to preserve Sting for he was immediately going to go out there and wrestle. Sure. And once again, I will say, like we said on the episode of Nitro, why do you need to go backstage if you're about to wrestle in like 2 minutes afterwards? I never will understand that. But I gave this match 1 3/4 stars.
Gave it 2. I mean, it was a short match. I expected more because I did hear what Sid said about the U.S. title match. But we go on to Sting having another match after this, so it is what it is. I gave it 2 stars.
I gave this match 2.5 stars. I got the half-star treatment for me because of the loud pop. You can tell how over Sting was at this time. And
That's true.
That nostalgia trip for me always cemented for me. I was a Sting guy. I wasn't a Hulk Hogan guy in the 90s.
Smart man.
You're preaching to the choir here.
Genius.
These guys know. I love me some Stinger.
Surfboard Sting or Surfer Guy Sting was the man before Crow Sting. And like Sid said, the match prior, the New Japan side of the match, where Sting faced Kensuke Sasaki in Japan for the U.S. belt when he lost it. Sting had better wrestling matches in Japan, a la Hulk Hogan. When Hogan was in Japan, he had better wrestling matches. It seemed that way for a lot of American talent for whatever reason. And this match fell short, which is why I got the 2.5. But it was cool to see the loud pop and him in his OG face paint and stuff like that. So that's why I got the 2.5.
Meltz gave us 3 stars. Jay News, quick question.
Sure.
Hulk Hogan's not on the show, but in 1995, I don't know how old you are. Could you see through Hulk Hogan's bullshit at that time?
So, so at this point in time, I don't know if I was 11 years old in 95. So, I would say Trouble in Paradise was Trouble. Was that the name of the show?
I
forget Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise was on. Thunder in Paradise was on. At this point, because he was on TV, Baywatch, Thunder in Paradise, and all the movie shit, and then he came back to wrestling, I was done. I was basically done with Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania and everything that it stood for, because he was so Hollywood at this point. Before he actually became Hollywood Hogan, it just tired me the fuck out. So I would say, yeah, I could see through his crap at this time.
Team USA comes out to Team WCW comes out to celebrate. Huge USA chants, USA. Mean Gene presents the World Cup in the ring. Sting has only one thing to say: USA. Oakland compares this to the World Series and the Stanley Cup and the Super Bowl, and
so far from.
So far off. Oh my god, this killed me.
Not even close.
This killed me. He was like, I hope this is an annual thing. This was the first and last. I will say the brain brought it home, the reaction to Team WCW winning, with him being so disappointed when they went back to commentary and say that he's going to lose his Lexus. He has to give it back.
This is a triangle match, not a triple threat, which means one guy has to stay out to be tagged. The first 2 is determined by a coin toss. Dusty argues with Tony about the strategy of this match. Tony says he wouldn't tag out because he wouldn't be able to win. Dusty says, well, you can't lose either. What the fuck?
But it was foreshadowing though. It did foreshadow the finish at the end of it.
Yes.
But how does Tony Schiavone have better strategy for this match than a former world champion, Dusty Rhodes?
Because Dusty was on some type of drugs in this for this whole show. God bless.
Was passing him out backstage.
God bless his soul, but he was just all over the place here.
Awful.
It's Sting versus Flair versus Luger. It almost feels like now the real pay-per-view begins, now that we've gotten that World Cup out of the way, even though that was the better part of the show.
It was.
By far.
Sting and Flair start with their traditional match. They always have this hundreds of times. Luger chills on the apron. Luger eventually tags in to replace Sting. Luger gets the best of Flair. Flair tags out to get a breather, forcing Sting and Luger, the friends, to fight each other. Brain says Sting's a softie. Tony says, you're talking about one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. Brain says, yeah, but he's got a heart. Tony says, well, everyone has a heart. Use your brain, Brain. Sting and Luger go at it for a long time, it feels like. The crowd dies.
Jesus.
Even a Stinger splash is met with crickets.
Yeah. And Tony Schiavone said the crowd erupted. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about?
And this show was like just under 3 hours, but it felt like once the hour they were into like going into the third hour of this show, is the crowd was dying out.
Luger with a torture rack. The ref gets hit by Sting's boots. Ref bump. Flair chop blocks Luger. Luger falls to the outside. Sting gets dumped over. The ref counts them out after Ric Flair wakes him up in 28:03. Wow, that was long. 28 minutes.
Sheesh.
Luger holds Sting's arm as he's about to go back in the ring and break the count. Dirty finish. Luger is seen apologizing to Sting on the outside. What the fuck was this ending? And now, Now we get a world title match between Flair and Macho Man that we just got
2 days
ago
prior.
on Nitro. I gave this 1.75 stars.
So, I'm used to the epic long matches due to what it is that I cover. This bored me. It bored me to death. As we know, I don't like Lex Luger. The traditional
Really?
Sting. No, the traditional Sting and Ric Flair match always gets me to pop, but being that it only lasted 3 minutes, the rest of it was too drawn out, overbooked. You guys, if you watch my show enough, I hate the ref bump. The ref bump yet again used in this particular match here. If I'm not mistaken, it was Nick Patrick. Was Nick Patrick the referee in this match?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Or Randy Anderson. They look
one of the two. Because the mullet was a thing back in that day, so you can't really tell them apart.
All the referees had mullets back in the day. Every single damn referee.
But yeah, the match dragged on too damn long. I understood the story component of it between Sting and Luger, but who cares, really? I mean, come on, who cares? And let's star 1.25. 1.25 stars for this match.
1.5. The match is too fucking long. Bored the shit out of me. I got up, went in the bathroom, went back in the room. Match is still on. Oh man, yeah, 1.5. Just too damn long.
I'm pretty sure that I flipped my ratings here. I think I gave Sting and Sasaki 3 stars because I had 3 stars under here, but I think I flipped those 2 ratings and I gave this one 1.75 stars because this was it was well worked and solid. It was like 3 different matches in one. It was Sting and Flair having their always good singles match. It was Luger and Flair having a match where Flair carries Luger. The most interesting matchup of the whole 3-way, which is Sting and Luger, was the least interesting thing about this matchup and sucked all the air out of the crowd. So yeah, I got to give this 1.75 stars. It should have been a lot more. Maybe it would have been more interesting if it wasn't 2 in, 1 out. But that's 1995.
Yeah, that was a stupid ass rule.
Yeah.
Triangle match. Just what?
Meltz gave that match 1.5. Jimmy Hart wants to manage Ric Flair again, and it's Rick versus Macho Man for the WCW Championship. Michael Buffer's here for his easy job. Mr. Wonderful comes down in a neck brace with walking down the aisle to observe the action, and then he gets kindly escorted to the back.
It was like, what was the reason for that?
Awkward spot in the end with Jimmy throwing his megaphone to Rick while he distracts the ref. Rick is gonna hit Macho Man with it, but he waits for Randy to go to his spot first. Then he tries to hit him with it. Macho Man blocks it and hits Rick very gently, like Hulk Hogan does with a chair shot. And then Macho Man blades Ric Flair himself. What a nice guy.
Yes, correct.
Jesus.
It was dude. How blatant was that? He unwrapped the tape around his finger, and then I was like, "What the fuck?"
I was like, this is probably the most blatant person cutting somebody else that I've ever seen in professional wrestling history.
Yeah, that blade job was ridiculous.
For real, man. Literally stuck him like a pig, bro. Like, damn.
Yeah, like this was gruesome. This was not cool. This was worse. This was just a level below New Jack and Mass Transit.
Oh shit.
Macho Man with a big elbow drop across the ring. Pillman and Benoit interfere. Macho Man throws Pillman from the top rope into Benoit. Double A Arn Anderson hits the ring. He hits Macho Man with some kind of object. This is the worst ref ever. This ref has been distracted the entire time.
The ref when he punches him, they fall into the ref. Like the ref is
Yo, the ref had to see Arn Anderson. Like that was ridiculous.
Seriously.
No. The ref had his no. Get this right. The ref had his back turned the entire time. Double A came in and he stuck him with the wrap tape thing in his hand, and it was over.
Flair with the pin in 8 minutes 41 seconds. Dirty finish. The Horsemen are on top of the world. The first time we've seen them all together.
Yes.
Rick is a 12-time world champion. Woo! And then Pillman afterwards whips Randy with a title belt. This was short. That finish overbooked.
Overbooked as hell.
1.25 stars. Sid?
I gave this 2 stars. I expect better from Flair and Macho, but that overbooking at the end was just highly outrageous. This was just highly outrageous, and that blade job. Oh my god.
But I'd have to say this. Now you understand why Gato overbooks the way he does, where he gets his inspiration from, right? All this 1990s wrestling bullshit.
Yep.
They gotta over fucking book it. 2.5 stars for me. The half comes from being able to see Benoit and Pillman in the ring at the same time for whatever reason. These two guys, obviously, tragic deaths individually, but when they were in the ring and they were on the microphone, like these dudes were, they're legends in their own time and stuff like that. But yeah, the match was heavily overbooked. This was too much, and the blatant blade job shit. My God, man, what? Why?
Stupid like hell.
Why? I don't even understand. And who walked out? Mr. Wonderful? Was it James J. Dillon? Who walked him out?
Yeah, I think it was JJ.
Oh man, what? Yeah, there's too much going on.
All over the place.
1.5, the worst Flair and Savage match I've seen. Too much, too short. I guess they didn't want to have Flair just came up a 28-minute snooze fest. So I guess they try to make this
match should have been shorter. I bet they thought they had a
Yeah.
banger of a match. Oh, this is going to be the match of the night, the triangle match. Let's make it 30 minutes long. It should have been shorter to give other matches more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, overbooked the shit. Macho Man damn near killing Ric Flair. Bad match. There was no coming back. After the cup was over anyway, there was basically no coming back.
Meltz gave us 1.5 as well.
Wow.
Fun fact. After the show was over, after the show's off the air, this is unseen. This is one-man Gang wins the U.S. title from Sasaki. Gang pinned Sasaki, even though Sasaki kicks out. Gang was given the victory. The match was restarted, and Sasaki won the second match. However, WCW only recognized the first match and later aired it on WCW Saturday Night.
Sheesh. They just really wanted to get that title over Sasaki before he went back to Japan, I guess.
Man, no respect. God damn it. One man gang?
Yeah.
AKA Hakeem the Dream?
The African Dream, yes.
All the fucking people you probably could have got off that roster to go win the U.S. title, and I choose fucking one man. Wow.
Oh, match of the night. I'm going to go Eddie versus Utani.
Easily Eddie versus Utani.
SP3.
I agree. Eddie versus Utani.
St. Hughes.
Yeah, let's make it unanimous. Eddie Guerrero versus Shinjiro Utani.
MVP, I'm going to go 2. I'm going to give it to Eddie and Benoit. I thought they had the best matches of the night.
Eddie had the best match of the night, and yeah.
Yes, I'm a mark. The Stinger wins MVP again.
I will also go with Eddie Guerrero, just because he had the match of the night and he was able to overcome that bad promo at the beginning of the show. So, quick tidbit for everybody watching. If you have NewJapanWorld.com access or whatever the case is, the tournament for the Super Juniors that year in 95 started with Tiger Mask and Chris Benoit, a.k.a. Eddie Guerrero and Benoit. Go back, watch that match. You will not regret watching that match.
LVP, I am going to say, for the horrible commentary all night, Dusty Rhodes.
I got to agree. And LVP, Dusty Rhodes, but also for, even though he had a great promo on the show, but he made someone bleed like a stuffed pig, and he had capped off the worst WCW Heavyweight Championship reign of all time, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yes, well, I was going with Macho Man Randy Savage. God, had a shitty reign, shitty matches. He lost it in a shitty way. He was coked up on that promo. LVP.
Nah, that promo was too funny for me to give him LVP.
Yeah.
Jay News?
I would say the road less traveled here. The LVP of the night for me is Sonny Ono. Sonny Ono came out with every single last Japanese wrestler and then gets roasted by the cheerleader. Your man is a loser. He did not appear to have any backbone at all. And he was talking about buying WCW, and at this point, I think that was the last time we saw Sonny Ono.
No, we did. We would see him again. He would manage one of the greatest cruiserweight champions of all time. Spoiler alert. That's a preview, a tease.
That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
By the way, after Sonny said that they were going to sweep the cup,
yes.
I think his guys went 1-4 after that or something like that.
Yep. Pretty much.
Correct. Biggest loser of the night.
Gentlemen, we're going to put our thumbs out.
Oh, man.
And in 3, 2, 1, it'll be thumbs up or thumbs down for the whole show. 3, 2, 1. 2 thumbs up and 2 thumbs downs. We are split. We could rate this show from a scale of 0 to 10. I am going to say a 4.3 for me. I love the Eddie Benoit matches. But other than that, I didn't like much. And the Macho Man promo, okay. Everything else, the dirty finishes, oh my God. One of the best pay-per-views we've seen, the Tru Rewind crew, but still, to me, not a thumbs-up show.
Yeah, you can't have 2 4-star and above matches and call it a terrible pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You can when there's like 8, 9 other matches that are bad.
Yeah, but they were okay matches. It wasn't like they were completely god-awful. But I would rate this a 6 out of 10, 6.5. I'll be generous.
I'm gonna go with 6 out of 10 for this pay-per-view. You can't go wrong with. I nearly gave the opener 4 stars, but the Utani Eddie match was one of the best matches we've seen on our ride through the Monday Night Wars so far. Benoit versus Liger was good. Koji versus Alex Wright was good. Sting versus Suzuki was good. So. There was a lot of good to great stuff on this show, so I got to give it a 6 out of 10.
I guess I'll round it out here. I'll give this a 5 out of 10, halfway through. The reason as to why I'll say that, to piggyback off of what Sid said, good matches, which is what got the 5. But the Chono match was a throwaway match because that match was just bad, in my opinion, and I've seen better matches out of Chono. Tenzan match was not great, so that's another downer for me there. And then the last 2 matches dragged the show on so far. Is that Terramana? Anyways, it is Terramana. God damn it.
That's why he's the drunk guy.
By the way, I love you, Dad. Good stuff.
It's always cool to see and relive stuff here through this fancy ride in the DeLorean and Tru Rewind here. But damn, the finishes, being stuck like a pig. God damn it, man. I couldn't do it. I can't hold on to that stuff nowadays. I can't accept it from back then. So yeah, that's why I'm giving it a 5 out of 10.
Oh man, you should have watched Halloween Havoc with us.
No, sir. No.
Pay-per-view buys. Guys, would you like to guess how many this pay-per-view did? For reference, World War III did 110K. Halloween Havoc did 145K. What do you think Starrcade 95 did, Drunk Guy?
What was the question?
How many pay-per-view
buys? Boy,
that
Terramana hits quick.
Yo, for real.
I've literally been drinking it this whole episode, but it's okay. But 150K? Shit, I didn't even
SP3.
I'm gonna go 135 because it's on a Wednesday.
J News.
Oh, I didn't know it was on a Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah.
So thank you for the information there. But being that it is Starrcade, though, and it's their premiere show of the year, I'll go 160K to be generous.
This was the lowest pay-per-view buy of the entire Monday Night War. Despite advertising matches ahead of time, Sid. Remember, you're so happy they advertised so many matches ahead of time?
But it's on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
2 days after Christmas.
The Americans didn't want to see no Japanese.
It might be that. This did 75K.
Jesus.
Oof.
Brutal.
Damn.
That is all for Starrcade 1995. Onward to infinity. 1996.
1996 and beyond. We will be back on episode 26. We will give you all the stats and overview for our ride through 1995. Romeo will have his stats ready for everything you need to know as you wrap up 1995. J News Japan, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you coming along on this ride with us, sir.
Yes.
Man, it was
So to you, man.
Thank you.
Come back anytime.
I appreciate that. For everyone who is watching, stay tuned. Nights 13 and 14 coming for the G130. I'm gotta get back in the DeLorean and go back to 2020 real quick. Because goddamn 95 was a bad year.
Who you telling? We have to review this shit.
Yeah, we just brought you for one show, sir. We had to live through the last 4 months of this godforsaken year.
96 was a better year, though. 96 was a better year.
We're on to better things. So thank you so much, J News, for joining us. You guys know to stay tuned for J News Japan, G1 Climax, Supreme Ivan News, Drunk Guy JJ. Where can they find you, sir?
Instagram, hacksaw_JAY_Duggan. Twitter is now Drunken Master JJ. And you can follow me. Facebook, Jaquan James. Yahoo, Tru Hill Heat. Yahoo. Facebook, Tru Hill Heat.
Yahoo. For you.
OnlyFans, X videos, Pornhub was all Tru Hill Heat. We're here for a good time, not a long time. 95. It's finally over. Like I always say, it takes hell getting into heaven. We, my friends, are going to heaven.
And what a coincidence. We dropped Tru Hill Heat 95 as we wrap up 1995 on Tru Rewind. The connoisseur of all reporting, Romeo Anthony Colon. Where can they find you?
The Pride of NY on Twitter and Instagram. And right here on the Tru Hill Heat YouTube channel. Wednesday Night Warriors every week covering AEW and NXT, the Wednesday Night War.
Thumbs up this video, show your support for 1995 and our efforts in reliving this godforsaken year. Share this video, show some nostalgia to your wrestling friends and fans. And of course, the iCard down at the bottom to subscribe, the bell below that to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Hill Heat. You can find me on Instagram, TrueHill_EpicSP3. You can find me on the Tru Hill Heat podcast weekly. Saturdays we drop every single week. We are on the road to 100. 0 to 100 is the episode 95 starring Alex McCarthy and Stephanie Chase as we give you our top 3 AEW Dynamite moments of the first year. And of course, we have the new podcast, True Toxicity. If you want men's lifestyle in your life, if you want to know how it is to live through manhood in the 21st century, check out True Toxicity, where we talk all about topics in toxic masculinity and beyond. So, for the cast, for everyone, it is me, your Tru Hill Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Rewind, episode 25. We are signing off until next time.